Hey ho, StarABC here, and today I'm doing a video on Transformers Age of the Primes Titan Star Optimus Prime, 13th of the 13 primes. So here he is in his truck mode, and this truck is something else. This thing would just be unbelievably huge. It really does look like a decked out Optimus. It's much more cohesive than the original toy. There's no big gap in the side here. He's got these split grills and windows at the front that look nice. These guns on top can move up and down and swivel left to right because they are on 5mm ports. He's got his classic trailer stripe running down the side. Kind of weird that this section is grey and this section is silver. And this silver section on blue does look a bit weird, but it doesn't stand out too much. There are these yellow parts on top, but they really needed a few extra coats. They almost look green. Instead of wheels at the back, he's got treads. And thankfully there are some wheels underneath. This whole section does like to pop off though. His toes are pretty obvious at the back here. Really wish they could have folded away, especially since his legs are pretty hollow. But the reason they're hollow is because of these doors at the back. And as you can see, there's something inside this one. If you open this back section up, you'll be able to pull it out. But it is incredibly difficult to do so. And you get this little truck. The original toy also came with this. It was meant to carry Micromasters, but since it's so much larger, it's much more appropriate for core classes. Which is why, if you open it up, you'll find a core-sized version of the Micromaster Hot Rod that came with the original toy. It's a pretty generic Hot Rod alt mode, but it does have these huge gaps in the spoiler. There is some more storage options for his accessories. His two guns can be plugged in on top. Looks alright. For comparison, here is Earthrise Optimus Prime, another Titan vehicle, Legacy the Nemesis, Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, a core class car, Studio Series 86 Wheelie, a Lego minifigure, my previous Transformers video, Age of the Primes Megatronus Prime, along with the other primes, and Earthrise Optimus Prime. This guy is a lot smaller than previous Titans, but that decrease in size also comes with a decrease in price. For transformation, start by just pulling this bottom section off. Really, it should come apart together, but whatever. Open up this back section, flip this piece up, take these side panels down, move this entire section up, unfold these pieces, flip this up, tab it in, bring this up, fold these side pieces up, then these will plug in here after some trial and error. Flip this blue piece down, turn this whole section around, unfold these pieces, flip these in, detach this top section, fold this piece down, flip this piece up, and then fold it down a bit. Fold up these panels, flip these up, fold these down, turn these sections around. Open up these panels, push this piece down, turn it around, push it in, turn it around, push it up, fold this up, turn this around. Same on this side. Except don't turn it around. Come to this piece, flip these blue pieces out, flip these grey pieces up, then flip these black pieces out. Then this will plug in to the side here. Take his gun and plug it into definitely what is not his hand. The 5mm port will go in there, and then this slot piece here will go into the wrist. Take his other gun, flip it out, and that will plug into this hole here. Take the little truck, detach the front off. This will flip out. At least I think it's supposed to, but I just find it's easier to pull it out. I guess not this time though. It will plug into the top of the truck, and then the truck will plug in down here. And you want to open up the little door. And here is Star Optimus in his base mode. And this is incredibly dumb, so I'm gonna gloss over it. His arms and head are incredibly obvious, but that's what the original toy was like, so whatever. You can put Hot Rod on any of these ramps and little slots and whatever. Or if you transform him by folding down the front piece, unpegging the arms and swinging out the back section, folding in the heels, you can attach him to this turret. Looks fine, but there's actually a turntable down here that allows you to spin the turret around. And this is actually kind of stupidly fun sometimes. At least it would be if it was easier to grip. Gimmicks in my chug? Overall, this mode is pretty boring and I'll probably never transform it into it again, so let's just move on to Rebel mode. Start by just detaching the turret. We can take Hot Rod off of that later. Just take the gun out of his hand, detach the truck. I'm actually going to put the truck back inside his leg. Detach this side piece and just close it back up. And we can split it in half. Lift Optimus's head up, close up the chest, flip up this blue piece, unclip these. Just sort of lift it up, fold up these ramps, and pull the legs down. Close up the legs and put these panels down to the side. Fold up the skirt piece, fold down these sides, flip out the toes, plug these panels back on the back of the legs. Turn this around, then just sort of straighten out the arms. And here is Star Optimus in his robot mode. This is a big fella. He really does give off vibes of a cosmic upgrade Optimus. The huge star on his chest looks great, and I love his stupidly tall ear spikes. His eyes do unfortunately look kind of dead due to the light piping. Even if light piping can look good sometimes, I think I'd prefer if Hasbro just dropped the concept entirely. The guns end up on top of his shoulders, and he's got these nice Autobot insignias underneath. They kind of look like a Proto-Elite Guard logo. He looks incredibly accurate to the OG design, just slimmer. For his two guns, the larger one goes in his hand the same way as it did for base mode. Looks real nice. It has a removable bullet for some reason. It's an odd inclusion. He also has this blast effect piece that can plug into the end. Quite nice. It's a solid plastic, not the rubbery stuff. Not the only blast effects he comes with. He has both sets of the normal ones. His smaller gun looks kind of pathetic. It's 3mm compatible, and so are the guns on his shoulders. Inside his other leg is a matrix. In reality, it's supposed to be a hilt for a sword. You're supposed to use blast effects for the blade. It looks dumb. The back of his legs can of course come off and attach together to form this mobile platform. I think it's supposed to be an upgraded form of roller. If you open up his chest, you will find the Zodiac, the artifact that revived Optimus, turning him into this form. It's got the logo of the 13th Prime on it, and it has a 5mm peg, so it can be held. The mini hot rod can also fit inside his chest. It's like Optimus is just a giant mecha he's piloting. Speaking of the mini hot rod, he looks kind of soapy, especially in the face. He does look like Micromaster Hot Rod though. For articulation, his arms can go all the way around and this far out. Elbow bend, bicep swivel. Legs can go forward this far, back this far, and this far out. And he has a knee bend. Absolutely atrocious posing on this guy, especially when compared to a core class. But for Star Optimus, he has a swivel at the head and a hinge that allows him to look down quite a lot. His arms can go all the way around and this far out. Elbow bend, bicep swivel, wrist swivel, opening hands, waist swivel, lots of clicky ratchets. Legs can go forward this far and back this far out. Thigh swivel, knee bend, toe down, and an ankle pivot. Blimey, this thing's hard to pose. Despite his large size, he can get into a lot of poses. For comparison, here is Earthrise Optimus Prime, another Titan vehicle, Legacy the Nemesis, Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, a core class car, Studio Series 86 Wheelie, a Lego minifigure, my previous Transformers video, Age of the Primes Megatronus Prime, along with the other Primes, and Earthrise Optimus Prime. I'm pretty sure this scale is about right for Star Optimus, but I personally would have preferred if he was smaller. Scale all of this down so that Hot Rod is Micromaster sized, and I would have been much happier. Now I get to the main issue I have with this guy. Him being the 13th Prime. For those of you who are unaware, the 13th Prime is usually somehow connected to Optimus Prime, though not in all cases. Look at things like Transformers 1 where they replaced it with Zeta. Sometimes when they're connected to Optimus, they're a reincarnation of him, and other times the 13th Prime gives up their memories and godlike powers to become a normal Cybertronian, that being Optimus. This figure essentially suggests that when Optimus receives the Zodiac, he was returned to his form as the 13th Prime. Now, personally, I think that concept would have worked a lot better as Hot Rod, but since it typically is Optimus now, my preferred interpretation is that Optimus is just the descendant of the 13th Prime, who themselves is a totally independent character. So for me, this figure doesn't really work as part of my Primes collection. It's also way too big to fit on my Prime shelf. I do have another figure that I'm using instead of this guy for the 13th, but you'll have to wait till next video for that. Ultimately, this is a really fun figure. I don't think it works particularly well as the 13th Prime, and I have my gripes about the size, but they're personal issues. and not something I would expect Hasbro to necessarily abide by. But as a figure of what Star Optimus is supposed to be, I think it works great. But let's see what other people think. Is the name dumb and should have been Star Convoy? Yes. Is the figure amazing? Also yes. The simple transformation works to its advantage in my opinion, since it means he can just be awesome without 20,000 locking tabs, third-party nightmares. Do I have issues? Yes. The Micromaster transport truck sticking inside the leg is a pain in the behind, and the tread panels on the back of their legs tend to come off with little resistance. Lastly, the pedestal for the Zodiac orb inside the chest might have needed some extra height to make it stand out more. I'm happy to add him to the 13 Primes collection. Can they keep the lower price for the Titan class figures, please? His shins need some thicker plastic, and he needs a separate blade piece for his saber, because the blast effect doesn't look good as a sword. He has a butt ton of blast effects, but also is a good reinterpretation of his classic toy. Good remake of the original toy. I'll still never buy this thing because its plastic density, complexity, and posability, not to mention size of course, does not warrant $150 in my eyes. The hot rod it comes with is god awful, but Prime himself is pretty cool and I dig it. Simple and hollow but still oddly fun. Should have come with a Squeaks Micromaster. Actually it's Star Convoy. Yes, that's my review. $150 blast effects set and you get a free Star Convoy. Good ratchets, transformation and alt modes, but the robot mode could use a bit more articulation. And the side of the base mode could have been a bit bigger like the original toy. White instead of grey would also be good. Rodimus should have been a Micromaster. Him being core class is silly. I think he's neat. Lower price for a Titan is nice, and the Hot Rod solo's a Kingdom core class, albeit that's an incredibly low bar. Admittedly, I don't know much about Star Convoy, so fantastic remake of the G1. Nails almost everything. Spin! Say that again? It's a perfect figure of the OG design, but it's not worth the price. Also a shame that it's hollow. Goated and peak. Anyone who says otherwise is delusional and lying to be different. He's beautiful. I wish he came with a proper sword effect and had more blast effects. I don't own him. Legs seem a little too hollow for me, and the transformation doesn't seem to be much of an improvement compared to the original toy. Only thing I think they improved on is the accessories and the articulation. All in all, I don't think it's worth the Titan class price, but I still think it's a good figure. As a smaller Titan class, he reminds me of the Supreme class of the Unicron trilogy days. He's big, chunky, all of his limbs have ratchet joints, and they sound glorious. Regarding his accessories, there's something neat about the Zodiac finally having an official physical form, even if it's a ball with a peg for holding. Micromaster Hot Rod and the Micro trailer are fun, despite Hot Rod's somewhat stunted articulation. That sword hilt being the Silver Matrix from the Gen Selects figure is a great pull, though I wish he had better options for a sword blade. As cool as the effect parts look, and I love me a fiery sword, there's that concern of deterioration that the blast effect parts still carry. Hopefully we'll see something third party for that. The base mode is rather silly in my opinion, but it's what the original Battlestars did, so I much prefer the truck mode. It's big and imposing, and I only learned recently that it shares a similar silhouette to Rodimus's truck mode, so that's neat. As a final note, there's a 5mm peg between his toes that goes generally unused, even for the instructed weapon placement for truck mode. A connection point for a potential Titan Grandus perhaps? It is pretty much a second figure of him since his debut. It is like a missing link figure but way more modern. They took the basics from the original and added more modern tricks to it. I like that. Modern figures learn from past adaptations, while this figure evolved. The figure being a smaller Titan class opens more opportunities for more figures that are too big / complex for Commander class, but too small for original Titan class. For that alone, I like it a lot. Thoughts on Star Convoy Optimus Prime? It looks really well. It's a cool design and I like that he has a base mode. It's like if Optimus Prime became a Titan, which is a very cool idea. I like all of his accessories as well. My complaint with him though is that he doesn't really fit the 13 Primes, and he literally towers over all of them. He just doesn't really feel like the 13th Prime. I feel like Hasbro should have chose something else to be the 13th Prime in this line, but other than him not fitting the 13th Prime, he looks really well. Make sure to tell me what you think in the comments. But that's about it for this video, so I guess that's Salut BC out. Next time it's my 13th.